Deathlok is a fictional cyborg superhero who appears in comic books published by Marvel Comics. He first appeared in Astonishing Tales number 25, and was created by Rich Buckler and Doug Moench. At least 3 subsequent Marvel characters have used the Deathlok identity since then. A recurring theme among these characters is that a dead human has been reanimated with cybernetic technology. Deathlok technology has also been used thematically by Marvel writers in other stories. Publication history: although initially announced as the new lead feature for Marvel's World's Unknown comic, under the title Cyborg, the first Deathlok series ran in Astonishing Tales number 25-36. This initial version of the character, Luther Manning, later guest-starred with Spider-Man in Marvel Team-Up number 46, and the story from the cancelled Astonishing Tales comics was finished in Marvel Spotlight number 33. Deathlok subsequently appeared with The Thing, a member of the superhero team The Fantastic Four, in Marvel 2-in-1 number 26, 27, 28, 34 and number 54, although one appearance was actually a robot and not the genuine Deathlok. The Luther Manning Deathlok then appeared in Captain America number 286-288. A new Deathlok, Michael Collins, debuted in the miniseries Deathlok number 1-4. He was the second Deathlok to be created in the modern era and also the second to be created for the traditional Marvel Universe. This second Deathlok went on to a 34-issue series cover dated July 1991 to April 1994, plus 2 summer annuals in 1992 and 1993. The third Deathlok, SHIELD. Espionage agent Jack Truman, debuted in an 11-issue limited series. Deathlok has also appeared in 4 issues of the limited series Beyond. And Michael Collins, in human form and not as Deathlok, appeared in Fantastic Four number 544-545. Multiple unnamed Deathlok units appear in Black Panther Volume 4, number 1-6. Possessing no human sentience, they were automatons created from corpses of soldiers killed in Iraq. Fictional character biography: Luther Manning. Colonel Luther Manning is an American soldier from Detroit, Michigan, who, after being fatally injured, is reanimated in a post-apocalyptic future only to discover that what remains of his dead body has been turned into the experimental Deathlok cyborg by Simon Riker. He verbally communicates with his symbiotic computer, to which he refers as the abbreviated PUTR. He escapes from Riker's control, although he dreams he has regained his humanity. He battles the evil corporate and military regimes that have taken over the United States, while simultaneously struggling not to lose his humanity. He battles Simon Riker and the First War Wolf, and encounters his wife and son for the first time after becoming a cyborg. He battles Simon Riker's super tank, and then begins a hunt for a cyborg doctor. He battles Simon Riker as the Savior Machine, and his mind is ultimately transferred into a Luther Manning clone. He battles mutants alongside a time-traveling Spider-Man. He begins working for the CIA, encounters God for the first time, and is then finally sent back in time to the modern era. He battles the Devil Slayer, but then battles demons alongside Devil Slayer. He later becomes controlled by Mentallo and the Fixer and is sent to assassinate the president, but is stopped by the Thing and Nick Fury. After his capture he becomes catatonic, and is taken to England for treatment by the Thing. He is cured by Louis Knott, and Nick Fury takes him into custody. Deathlok is rebuilt by Recon as a robot and sent to sabotage Project Pegasus. The robot battles the Thing and Quasar, and self-destructs. The real Deathlok, now working for the Brand Corporation, battles Captain America and a time-traveling Luther Manning clone. Alongside Captain America, God, and the Redeemers, he battles Hellinger. Sometime later, the mainstream timeline Luther Manning begins dreaming that he is Deathlok. He is charged with temporal energy by Timestream. Timestream recruits this mainstreamed human Manning. Deathlok, Timestream, and Manning battled the Collins Deathlok, Siege, and God. The Manning Deathlok eventually returns to his own time and overthrows the megalomaniac who had taken over the country. Manning remains in his near-future alternate reality, searching for a purpose in life and unable to disconnect himself from the machine bonded to him. Eventually, Manning travels to the mainstream Marvel Universe and encounters Daredevil and the Kingpin. He lives a life of solitude until being apprehended by SHIELD, from which he is later kidnapped by the supervillain Owl and, immobilized, put up for auction as a weapon. Before a sale can be completed, he is stolen by the crime lord Hood and sent on a kamikaze decoy run. John Kelly. Kelly first appeared as Deathlok in Marvel Comics Presents number 62. This version of Deathlok was originally controlled by Kelly until its systems determined that Kelly's brain function was detrimental to its completion of the first run program. The Deathlok unit then completed its mission. Kelly's brain was removed from the cyborg and disposed of. One of Riker's assistants took the brain presumably for use in the siege unit. This version was made for the United States Army by the CIA's Deathlok program co-head, Harlan Riker, after studying Luther Manning's cyborg body. The Kelly Deathlok later became known as Siege. Michael Collins. Professor Michael Collins was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He was a pacifist working for the Recon Oil Cybernetics Corporation cyborg. Upon discovery of the Deathlok program, he was shot with a sedative by Harlan Riker and his brain was transplanted into the body of the John Kelly Deathlok cyborg. The machine was used against rebels fighting against Recon's influence in the fictional South American country of Istrala. Collins regained his consciousness during that mission and stopped the cyborg programming that would have killed a small child. Although his brain was intended to serve only as a medium for the robot's programming, he was able to assert his will over it. The computer is fully willing to listen to Collins, though he must take care to present his orders in a way that helps fulfill the mission and keep people from dying. The computer is fully capable of understanding distinct concepts, such as bluffing, as when Collins is forced to pretend to take a hostage. He met Jesus Badalament and also battles Mainframe. Collins learns that his human body was still alive, and encounters Nick Fury and SHIELD. Harlan Riker hides Collins's human body. Collins aids Nick Fury and SHIELD in preventing a nuclear strike on the United States. With the Fantastic Four, X-Men, and Misty Knight, Deathlok later battles Mechadon. He meets the Punisher, and battles Silvermane. He next meets Moses Magnum. Collins finally reveals his existence as a cyborg to his family. Collins then begins to search for his human body. During this time he fought Sleepwalker, and helped Silver Sable retrieve a purloined Statue of Liberty. He assists a makeshift team of other heroes in the Maximum Carnage incident, protecting the people of New York from a mass-murdering group of supervillains. Ultimately, Collins gained the ability to shift from his Deathlok body to human form at will. During the events of the series Beyond, the cosmic being Stranger transported Collins to an alien planet where he was forced to live for years until being rescued with the aid of several other heroes. However, his rescue required the sacrifice of Greg Willis, the superhero known as Gravity. As an act of gratitude, Collins arranged Gravity's funeral. When Willis' body was later stolen by the cosmic entity known as Epoch, Collins enlisted the aid of the Fantastic Four in retrieving it. Jack Truman. Larry Young. Jack Truman was an agent of the international espionage outfit SHIELD, who was transformed into a cyborg to battle the Red Skull. Through telepathic means, he eventually swapped his mind into the body of another former SHIELD agent, Larry Young. Young is being considered as a potential recruit for the Initiative program. Project Deathlok. During the Dark Reign storyline, HAMMER. Stryker force consisting of corpses animated with crude bionics was sent to capture a super soldier research center known as the World. These models acted like traditional zombies, craving brains. Their mission was unsuccessful, and as a result, the research group which produced them, Project Deathlok, was scrapped. Deathlok Prime. Wolverine's Rogue Ops team joins an alternate future Deathlok Prime, now free from its homicidal human host's brain, to face down invaders from a different possible future where X-Force, and all other superheroes, have been turned into Deathlocks controlled by worldly authorities with popular support, which produces a crime-free utopia for everyone else. Deathlok appeared later as a guest speaker for one of Jean Grey's School for Higher Learning's classes. Deathlok revealed the potential futures of the students present and the probabilities of them occurring. Notably, Deathlok refused to comment on Genesis' future, only revealing to him in private that only he can choose his fate. Deathlok It. In the Avengers Arena series as part of the Marvel Now event, a female teenage version of Deathlok dubbed Deathlok It is introduced. She is revealed to be Rebecca Riker, the daughter of Harlan Riker. After being maimed in an explosion that killed her mother and brother, Rebecca was rebuilt using the Deathlok technology that her father developed. Arcade later kidnaps her alongside the students of the Avengers Academy and Braddock Academy and forces them to fight other teenage superhumans in his latest version of Murder World. Henry Hayes, a new Deathlok debuted during the original Sin storyline. Henry Hayes worked at Doctors Without Borders. During his duty, he lost a leg in a suicide bomber attack in Kandahar. Henry was taken care of by the company Biotech, who provided him with a composite fibers prosthesis. Upon being placed under mind control, Henry Hayes became Deathlok, where he was used as an assassin, a soldier, a killer, a fighter, and an operative. He had participated to at least an armed conflict alongside with organized troops, and assassinated countless people even in populated areas. He was even once close to be captured by SHIELD. During a mission went bad in Russia. Henry Hayes was often memory wiped to not remember his assignments. While at MTA Metro North Station, he tried to engage discussion with another leg amputee and advised him to contact Biotech, as his own prosthesis forced the man to use crutches. This man left, seemingly displeased with the discussion. Immediately afterward, he met Seth Horn, an SHIELD agent off-duty who was present when the Eye of the Watcher exploded, releasing a blast of energy which revealed deep secrets to anyone in its radius. To Horn was revealed Hayes' true story. This Level 4 agent wanted to congratulate him, stating that SHIELD would wish to have him in their ranks. As Henry Hayes really didn't knew what Horn was talking about, he threatened to call the authorities, forcing the agent to leave after a last congratulation. Immediately, Henry Hayes was ordered to kill him as the announcement board of the station indicated the words Whiskey David, triggering Henry Hayes' Deathlok persona. After following Seth Horn in the restroom, Deathlok quickly executed him, left, took some meds, and returned to his civilian life, heading to the train to join his daughter Aria. Powers and abilities: Manning. Colonel Luther Manning's body was rebuilt into a cyborg body by Harlan Riker. Deathlok's mechanical, cybernetic physiology granted him several superhuman powers, including superhuman strength, stamina, agility, reflexes, and a computer-augmented brain. The right arm and left half of his face are armored cybernetic implants. He wears a woven metal mesh bodysuit of considerable durability. Deathlok also carried a helium neon laser pistol designed by the U.S. Army of his time, and a throwing dagger. Manning was a military academy graduate, and a brilliant military strategist. He is a formidable hand-to-hand combatant, and proficient with knives, daggers, handguns, and laser pistols. He was later captured and upgraded by 616's SHIELD and given jet boots that allowed him to leap at great heights, and his other abilities were perhaps enhanced to greater levels. Michael Collins' human brain was transplanted into a cyborg body by a group of scientists at Cybernetic. His cyborg body grants him the same powers as Manning, only with much greater strength, speed, and resistance to injury. He possesses a broad spectrum of visual and auditory powers. Deathlok has the ability to interface with virtually any computer system. He is also able to project his consciousness and sensory projections directly into the net, making him capable of directly hacking computer systems far more efficiently than a traditional hacker. His body can also target multiple objects and track them. He could scan the entire electromagnetic spectrum, as well as enter computer systems. He has learned to use internal nanobots to repair and alter both his organic and inorganic parts, enabling him to appear as either a humanoid cyborg, or completely human. He also has a very sophisticated AI, capable of quickly making complex strategies and evaluating their chance of success. If requested, the AI can take control of the body to perform these operations. Collins himself possesses no combat skills, but under computer-guided combat routines, he is an excellent hand-to-hand combatant with an extensive database of combat techniques and strategies. Collins is an excellent computer programmer with an advanced degree in computer science and prosthetics, and helped construct the Deathlok body, along with other cyborg scientists including William Hansen, Ben Jacobs, Stanley Cross, Doctor Who, and Jim Dorman. After becoming Deathlok, Collins later modified his own systems. Like Manning, Collins wears a woven metal mesh bodysuit of considerable durability. He carries a plasma pistol which draws its energy from his internal power source. Thus, the weapon can only be fired if in contact with the outlets in Deathlok's hand. Deathlok also possesses a collapsible plasma rifle capable of greater firepower with the same limitations, a supply of fragmentation plasma grenades, and a molybdenum steel knife. He wears a wrist bracelet that allows Deathlok to override similar cybernetic operating systems, and an adamantium-vibranium alloy shock dampening helmet. He sometimes uses a refitted cyborg Dragonfly fighter with a range of several hundred miles. Other versions, Mutant X, in the Mutant X reality, Deathlok is a member of the Avengers. Ultimate Marvel, in Ultimate Spider-Man number 70, the Ultimates fight a person they refer to as Luther Manning, who looks like Deathlok and whom Spider-Man describes as a half-robot half-zombie guy. The superheroes take him into custody. Marvel Knights, the 2010 Marvel Knights miniseries takes place in near future where the Raccoon Company runs practically the entire world economy, and war is a spectator sport. Luther Manning and Mike Travers are two of Raccoon's top players, with Manning possessing superior combat skills while Travers is their most popular player due to his marketable loud and colorful personality. After Travers pulls a stunt in one of the war games which ends up causing the deaths of both himself and Manning, Raccoon scientists resurrect them as a single Deathlok cyborg. The new entity contains different sections of their brains in an attempt to provide it with both Travers' popular personality and Manning's skill set. In other media, television, in an episode of Black Panther, a team of Deathloks are sent to assist Wakanda from an invasion by a neighboring country backed by Klaw and his allies with the true objective to coerce or otherwise foster a regime friendly to an American agenda. They arrive in time but are sent back by the Black Panther. The Deathlok concept is adapted for the television series Agents of SHIELD, which is set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The show's primary Deathlok is Mike Peterson, who was introduced in the show's pilot episode. Mike was an ordinary man who has been given superhuman strength and other attributes by a drug created by Project Centipede after being injured during his job. Though other subjects self-destructed due to the extremis contained in the Centipede drug, Peterson is sedated by SHIELD agents led by Phil Coulson. In the episode The Bridge, Coulson recruits Peterson to his team to deal with perfected Centipede serum-powered soldiers. In a later clash with Centipede, Peterson is seemingly killed in a rigged explosion. In the magical place, Peterson is later revealed to be alive, missing his right leg and discovering that he is being monitored through an electronic eye implant. In the episode TRACKS, Peterson is supplied with a bionic prosthetic right leg produced by Cyborg Industries. In subsequent episodes, he is referred to by the name Deathlok. Following the concurrent events of the film Captain America, The Winter Soldier and the episode Turn, in which SHIELD is revealed to have been infiltrated by Hydra, Deathlok appears in the episode Nothing Personal to assist Hydra infiltrator Grant Ward in obtaining access to encrypted SHIELD files from Skye. Deathlok manages to get Skye to do that by using a device that ended up manipulating Ward's heart to go into the stages of a heart attack. In the episode Ragtag, Deathlok is sent to kill a South American drug lord with ties to Hydra. After Deathlok's assassination, Coulson and May infiltrate cyborg facilities in Palo Alto and discover the status of SHIELD. Agent John Garrett as the original test subject of Project Deathlok as long ago as 1990. Leo Fitz attempts to kill Garrett by using an EMP to short out his cybernetics, but Raina saves him by injecting him with a version of GH325. In the episode Beginning of the End, Hydra affiliate and owner of cyborg, Ian Quinn attempts to sell off an army of Deathlok super soldiers to the United States government. However, Coulson's raid causes the deal to go south as Garrett murders one of the generals before fighting Coulson and Fury. After Skye frees Ace, she then frees Peterson from being blackmailed. He subsequently attacks and kills Garrett. Afterwards, Mike Peterson and Coulson's team go their separate ways, though Peterson reminds Skye that she can track him through his implants. Later, Garrett comes back to life due to his use of GH325 and attempts to upgrade himself into the ultimate Deathlok, but Coulson disintegrates him using the Hydra plasma weapon that his team found in Peru in the episode 0-8-4. Deathlok appears in The Hulk and the Agents of SMASH. Episode Deathlok, voiced by Mark Hildreth. He teleports into a mall where he targets a woman only to end up fighting the Agents of SMASH. Where Deathlok claims that she is no girl. She-Hulk discovers that Deathlok was right about the girl who happens to be Super Skrull and disguises the other people in the mall are revealed to be Skrulls preparing for the Skrull invasion of Earth. Deathlok tells the Agents of SMASH that this date on Earth would be the day when the Skrulls eradicate the human race and terraform Earth to settle on it. After Hulk defeats Super Skrull, Deathlok activates his self-destruct as She-Hulk takes out Deathlok's core, which destroys the ship. She-Hulk was able to put a new core made by Iron Man into Deathlok, where the mall flyer was part of Deathlok's way to inform the Agents of SMASH about the Skrulls plot. Deathlok then becomes a member of the Agents of SMASH. In this show, Deathlok is a cyborg from the future in which the Skrulls' plan succeeded and Deathlok was one of the few remaining humans left. He was turned into a cyborg and sent to the present, but he cannot return to his own time. Film. In the early 1990s, a Deathlok film was at the script stage, with screenwriter Randall Frakes. In 2007, a Deathlok feature film was supposedly at the script stage at Paramount Pictures, with screenwriter David Self. Video games. Deathlok can be summoned to assist Spider-Man or Venom during the later stages of Spider-Man and Venom, Maximum Carnage. He drops into the center of the screen and fires guns in both directions, hitting all enemies. Toys. A Marvel Legends action figure of Deathlok is part of the Galactus series. Deathlok is one of the figures in the Marvel Infinite series, an extension of the Marvel Universe toy line. Music. Psychotron by Megadeth is based on the Deathlok character. Collected editions. Some comics have been collected into an individual volume. Marvel Masterworks, Deathlok Volume 1, references. External links. Deathlok at Marvel.com, Deathlok at Marvel.com, Deathlok at the Grand Comics Database, the original 1990s Deathlok pitch at Dwayne McDuffie's official site, Deathlok at the Marvel Directory, Deathlok the Demolisher at Don Markstein's Toonipedia, March News www.sci-fi2k.com, Deathlok the Demolisher at the appendix to the Handbook of the Marvel Universe, Deathlok at the Comic Book DB, 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 Deathlok at the Marvel Cinematic Universe Wiki.